What if I told you that before touching a single hacking tool, you could uncover valuable information about almost any website using a command that's already sitting on your computer? No downloads, no installs, just one command. It's called NSLOOKUP, short for Name Server Lookup. Here is the problem it solves. Your browser doesn't understand website names, not one. It only understands numbers. Something translates between the two instantly every time you hit enter. That something is DNS, Domain Name Server, the internet's phone book. And NSLOOKUP is the tool that queries the phone book directly. That's why ethical hackers, pen testers, and system admins reach for it first during Recon, pulling DNS records, IPs, and configs before touching anything else. Today, we are covering DNS enumeration with NSLOOKUP, how it works, the commands that matter most, and live demos on real domains. All ethical, all legal. Let's get into it. After opening the command prompt, type NSLOOKUP. After that, first option we have to set is set type. It tells NSLOOKUP which DNS record type to request. Whatever you set, it stays active for the rest of the session. Set type and set query type are exact same settings, just two names that both stuck around across different NSLOOKUP docs and versions. Doesn't matter which one you use. Address record. It is the most commonly used DNS query. It maps hostname to an IP4 address, the actual number your machine needs to connect to. This is NSLOOKUP's default type, so a bare NSLOOKUP search is already querying for IP4. A domain can return multiple A records. That's load balancing across several servers, not an error. If the IP lands in a known CDN or WF range, you are not looking at the real server. You are looking at the edge. Unmasking the actual origin IP behind that shield is its own recon skill. We will see that part also in this series, but not in this video. Quad A record. Same idea, but IP6 address. The IP6 equivalent of an A record. It maps a hostname to a 120-bit IP6 address instead of a 32-bit IP4 one. That's also where the name comes from. IP6 addresses are 4 times the size of IP4, so the record type got 4 A's instead of 1. When a quad A record does exist, it's worth checking whether the same security controls actually extended to it. IP6 infrastructure gets misconfigured or simply forgotten more often than IP4. Team locks down the interface they are used to and treat the other one as an afterthought. That gap is a real, recurring finding in dual stack environment. It can occasionally point to a different edge server or path than the A record does, since IP4 and IP6 traffic aren't always routed identically behind a CDN. NS records. It shows which name servers are authoritative for the domain, usually one of the first things checked in Recon, since it tells you where the source of truth for that domain's DNS actually lives. This is also the first check when troubleshooting DNS delegation, confirming a domain actually points at the name server set at the registrar, or verifying propagation after switching DNS providers. This isn't a flag by itself, it's a DNS record type. It asks the DNS server which name servers are authoritative for that domain, which servers actually hold the zone data and can give a definitive answer about it, rather than serving something from the cache. Typical output looks like this one. MX server returns the mail servers responsible for accepting email for that domain, each with a priority number. Lower number tried first. If the top server is unreachable, the sending server falls back to the next one. Output looks roughly like this. MX records only control inbound mail delivery, not outbound. CNAME Records. Canonical name records or an alias record, pointing one hostname to another. You don't actually need it to notice a CNAME record exists. If you run a plain NSLOOKUP, that is IP4 query, and if there is a CNAME behind it, NSLOOKUP follows the chain automatically and shows you the alias step before landing on the final IP. Using this one explicitly, is cleaner when you only want the alias itself. Pointer records. This one behaves differently from NS, MX or CNAME. You don't need it at all in the common case. Feed NSLOOKUP a plain IP address and it recognizes the input as an IP, automatically running the reverse lookup for you. It maps an IP address back to a hostname. Start of authority. Every DNS zone has exactly one start of authority record, and it's not really about resolving anything. It's administrative metadata about the zone itself. Output looks like this. Mail address is an email address with the @ swapped for a dot. Hostmaster.google.com means hostmaster@google.com. It is meant to be the contact for zone administration. Text records. It returns arbitrary text string attached to a name. It started as a free-form notes field, but today it's the default place almost anything gets published in the DNS. Because reusing text means nobody has to standardize a brand new record type for every new purpose. So that's NSLOOKUP, one of the simplest yet most powerful tools for DNS reconnaissance. Remember, Recon is the foundation of ethical hacking, and mastering basic tools like this will make learning advanced techniques more easier. I'll be uploading more hands-on tutorial on ethical hacking, cybersecurity, networking, Linux, Windows, bug bounty, and penetration testing, all explained from the ground. If this series is actually teaching you something real, give it a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.